In this video, we discuss the bottom 4 seeds in the Eastern Conference playoff predictions. We won't reveal our top 4 seeds. We'll save that for the second part of this video.
Welcome to episode 8 of the Hoop Paradise podcast. This is going to be our Eastern Conference regular season breakdown. I'm Ryan Rocky, alongside my co-host,
Mo Talo.
and we're very excited to bring this one to you. We just did our Western Conference predictions last video. We had a pretty good time. I enjoyed doing it. It's fun, like I said before, to give predictions now and then look towards the end of the season to see how right or how wrong you were about some of these things. So in the last video we did 8 seed to 1 seed for the Western Conference teams. We're doing the same thing this time, but with Eastern Conference teams, obviously a far weaker conference, but still going to be a fun time, a lot of good players in the East, so let's just run it down. I'll let Mo start this time with his seed through 1. So give us what you got.
My number 8 goes out to all the fans in the world that are young and believe that their team can make the playoffs, and that's exactly what I believe in. Number 8, I have the Atlanta Hawks, very young team. They have a rising star in Trae Young. Showed a lot of flashes of young Curry, maybe, who knows. And they also just got DeAndre Hunter, Cam Reddish, and there's another one, Bruno Armando. Yeah. They still got John Collins.
Alex Len, they brought him in. So.
Yeah, good young team. I think they'll get the 8 seed. I think they'll definitely improve a lot, especially the East getting a lot weaker now that Kawhi's out.
Yeah. My 8 seed,
You?
Detroit Pistons. They were an 8 seed last year, and their front court is devastating, and it's comparable to it's comparable to Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins. It honestly is, because Blake Griffin is underrated in my opinion. He's a really good player, every year All-Star level talent. He's the best player the Pistons have had in a long time. And you pair him alongside Andre Drummond, who is a very good big man. Sometimes has his flaws, but comes up big when you need him sometimes. So I like that pairing. You bring in Derrick Rose, and you consider that last year you were an 8 seed. The Eastern Conference got weaker. I like them to stay the 8 seed this season. Now your 7
They got
seed.
D-Rose. They got D-Rose too.
D-Rose. I think he could still provide a push for a lot of teams. I think no matter where he went, he's going to be a significant piece for anybody. So I like that pickup from Detroit, and I'm very happy for my man D-Rose. Shout out Chicago. Number 7 for you, Brooklyn Nets. Now this is hard for you because Kevin Durant.
It's hard for me too.
Our favorite players.
Yeah, our
favorite player. Obviously, he's not going to play a lick this season. He really won't.
Yeah.
Even if they make the finals, if the Nets make the finals, let's say that happens, he still won't be playing. So it's going to be a rough season to watch because he won't touch the court. But why do you have them at 7?
The reason I have him at 7 is their center is DeAndre Jordan, good rebounder. Their point guard's Kyrie Irving, good star. But we've never seen Kyrie Irving carry a team by himself.
I'm not going to argue this, okay? Now, there is a video in our history, if you go back and watch. If you watch the Kyrie Irving free agent signing video, I don't want to say the same things I've already said. I break down why this is a bad argument, but I'm going to let him talk. So please go watch that. Please go watch that.
Kyrie Irving is a good player, but we've never seen him carry a team. He brings flaws within a team. He literally is a very big reason that the Celtics just collapsed. He's a big reason. He made everyone nervous. He cussed out the team.
Again, I'm just going to, if you haven't seen that video, I'm just going to sit here and listen to this. I have reacted to this exact argument before.
But if Kevin Durant was healthy, I think they would be the number 1 seed.
I do too, because Kevin Durant's the best player in the Eastern Conference. And
Kevin Durant and Kyrie would probably work, but Kevin Durant's injured, ruptured Achilles, he's not going to be back not until 2021.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks because that is my favorite player, and it's going to be hard to go through an entire season where he doesn't play a single game. And it's going to force me to root for somebody else, a different player, and it's not going to be Kyrie because he's not near my top players, and it might be De'Aaron Fox. It might be the season for the Kings. So the Nets, I have them at 6, a little bit higher than Mo here, but for basically the same reasons. Obviously, I think they were a playoff team last year with under D'Lo, and they bring in Kyrie, which is, in my opinion, some people don't have this opinion for some reason, but I think Kyrie Irving is genuinely a better basketball player than D'Angelo Russell, and that's just facts. It really is. You have DeAndre Jordan, which is an upgrade. You still have Jared Allen. You still have Karis LeVert. They were a playoff team last year. You get better, so I think they were a 6 seed last year. They're going to be a 6 seed again this year. That's what I have them at.
Kyrie also gets injured a lot.
Kyrie does get injured. That you can't even argue that. But this is considering. I'm not considering injuries to this list. I am not, because that would look different. We don't know. We can't predict injuries, and that no one can. I mean, no one thought Kevin Durant was going out in Game 5 of the NBA Finals. No one thought it was going to happen, but it did. Unfortunately, it changed the entire free agency, and it changed the entire next season for better or worse. We don't know yet. My 7th seed, you had Brooklyn. I had them at 6. So my 7th seed is Miami Heat. They missed the playoffs by a game last year, or a couple games, 1.5, maybe 2 games. Dwayne Wade wasn't able to make that final playoff appearance, which honestly kind of sucked for me. I wanted to see that so bad, being a fan of his. But Miami, they lose Josh Richardson in the trade to Philadelphia to get Jimmy Butler to sign trade. You still have Goran Dragic. You lose to Hassan Whiteside, which is not even a bad thing. Get him out of here. You bring in Myers Leonard from Portland. So I think that 2 games that they missed last year, they make up for it this year with Jimmy Butler, who's going to be very hungry to lead his own team. I think he's always wanted to prove that. He kind of did in Chicago when D Rose was out, and he brought him to the playoffs. He did. You can't argue that. Minnesota, you were playing with Wiggins, who honestly might be the worst number 1 overall pick that's played consistently. Like Anthony, some people point to Anthony Bennett. I just don't like the idea of Andrew Wiggins in general. I don't like him. I think he's lazy. So playing with him was rough for Jimmy Butler. And then you go to Philadelphia. They missed it by a shot. If Kawhi Leonard misses that shot, that series ends differently probably because it goes overtime. Maybe Philadelphia pulls it out. So we don't know. Philadelphia could have been a world champion last year. We see Toronto hit the shot. It changes the entire season, entire free agency. So Jimmy Butler now with a chance to lead his own team in Miami to the playoffs. I think he's going to do it and capture that 7th seed. Who do you have at 6th?
I have the Detroit Pistons.
So I like that pick for them.
They got the 8th seed last year. I'm pretty sure they were either 42-40 or 41-41.
I think they were 41-41.
Yeah.
Might be wrong though.
And Blake Griffin, amazing player. He gets injured, but when he's healthy, he can definitely impact your team. Andre Drummond, good rebounder.
He's a top 5 player in the East, in my opinion. I do believe that.
And they still have Reggie Jackson. They still got Luke Kennard,
Tony Snell.
Yeah, they got Tony Snell, and they got D Rose, so maybe he could score a couple points, like 12 points per game, which is good. That's why I have him at the 6th. Again, the East isn't as strong as the West. That's why my 8 through 6 are not that strong. Like the Hawks, they're not. Who even knows if they're guaranteed strong?
They have a young core.
Yeah, they have a good young core.
That's
That's
why
why
I
I
have
have
a
them
lot
at
of potential, and I like the fact that you put them at 8. I was considering them, tossing them back and forth, but with Detroit making it last year, Miami adding new Jimmy Butler, I just thought it was impossible to put them in there with only 8 spots, and you have about 9, 10 teams in the East that could be fighting for a spot. It's just hard to put everyone in there.
I think once it gets through 5 through 1, it starts to get like hard, and this is when you can actually think, because there's so many different guys on new teams.
Yeah, as you said before, 6 through 8 could really be anybody. We don't know. Hell, Orlando was the 8 seed last year. I liked them a lot. I was gonna put them at 8, but they just didn't fit in the picture. I mean, they're bringing back Vucevic, Fournier, Aaron Gordon. I mean, they're gonna be a good team again. So I like them, but they might make the playoffs. They might not. So we'll see. 5 seed, we have the same team, Indiana Pacers. This team, I don't know what to think about them because I like them a lot on paper. I really do. T.J. Warren, Malcolm Brogdon coming in, Jeremy Lamb, Sabonis, Turner. It's a really good lineup, but you won't see Oladipo back until New Year's at least, at the earliest.
He won't be 100%.
You're right. It's going to take a while. It really will. This was a team that when Oladipo went out, they were the 3rd seed in the East, and they still fought for a playoff spot. They were able to retain one. So I think they're not going to be a top 4 seed, but that 5 seed, this might be a team that upsets their first round matchup and could make it to the second round. They're a very strong lineup, and when you add Oladipo back and you move Brogdon over out of the point guard position, which he'll be starting in, I really think Oladipo is going to add, because he was leading that team to a top 3 seed last year and he went out. So I mean, I think they're going to be a very strong candidate to upset somebody in the playoffs. So I like them at 5. They could have been a lot higher for me if Oladipo wasn't injured. Yeah, completely. I agree.
To recap, here's a look at our predictions for the bottom 4 seeds in the Eastern Conference playoffs next season.